thank you so much, Flo, for having us here today. We are here in the stunning Colbert Benton House, and thank you so much.
You're
This
welcome.
is a perfect backdrop for this interview,
You're welcome.
and we're super excited that you wanted to sit down with us today. So, for those of you who may not know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from. Just give us the inside scoop on Flo.
Inside Scoop and Flow. Well, I grew up in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
in Buckhead, and graduated from the University of Georgia, and went back to Atlanta for about 3 months and realized Atlanta was not where I was going to live.
I can't imagine.
No, I was just like, this is not going to work. So I came back to Athens and lived in Athens and Gainesville for a while and worked in the fields of banking and law before Larry and I married, and then it's just been the farm.
Yeah.
You know, just kids in the farm. 4 kids keep you busy, and the farm keeps you busier.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know. I hear that all the time, and I witness it firsthand with my husband. So one of the things that I think you are most well known for in Madison County is all of this incredible work that you are doing in Colbert, in particular, with preserving these historic homes, turning them into businesses. And when I think about you, I think about just the meticulous eye that you have for the restoration work. So, tell us a little bit about where that passion began.
I have no idea.
Oh.
I really don't know. I know this house spoke to me when we came in it.
Mm-hmm.
It had had 2 owners outside the family, and that was the 2 owners bought it after the house had been empty for 23 years.
Oh, wow.
And when I came in, it was like stepping back in time, you know. And I was like, this is really neat. There's really good bones. We could do something with this. And then as we started working on it, the theory of making it a philanthropic venue space, that just evolved. That just seemed to make sense. The Colberts were big in the community, and the Colliers are part of the family. We're big in the community, and the Bentons were big in the community. We give back to the community. So I just enjoy it. I don't know where it sprung from.
Yeah, yeah. I just imagine all of the things and the changes that these homes and these properties have seen over time, and the fact that they're still able to stand and to, like you said, that philanthropic piece where they're giving back. And we'll get to more on that in just a second. So a lot of people would look at something like this and see a really overwhelming project, a renovation, but you seem to take it a lot more personally. When you walk into one of these spaces and maybe they are in a little need of repair or update, what do you see? How does that vision come to life for you?
I just see what it could be, what it probably was, and how to bring it back to where it should be. This house was in incredibly good shape, physical shape. They had changed the exterior from wood to brick. Mr. Benton bricked it in the 50s. And then we changed the front elevation again, as you know, from the orange brick to the white, and added the porches. But I just try to figure out what it would be best used for moving forward. Colbert had a 4th of July thing 2 years ago, was looking back but moving forward. And that's kind of how I feel about the houses. You know, I want to look back and preserve their history, but how do we move forward with them so that no one wants to destroy them or tear them down in the future?
Yeah,
so that's kind of where it kind of comes from.
Yeah. You do such a great job of creating an environment where there's a perfect balance between modern amenities and modern comfort and the preservation of these historic, especially the aesthetic in the home. Like, this is a modern sofa, but the anchor pieces on the sides are all antique pieces, and so you do a really great job of balancing that out and then finding like a middle ground.
You kind of have to. The Victorian era didn't have very comfortable
sofas. No, there'd likely be a spring poking me right now.
Yeah, they were like settees, and you know, they were very.
Yes, and low to the ground. Yeah. We have some pieces at the chamber, and people will sit in them and not realize how low to the ground they go, and they're sitting a lot lower than they meant to. You can tell it surprises them. So
I think people were shorter.
They were. I think they must have been.
Yeah, I think they were shorter.
Must have been. So get back to that philanthropic piece that the Colbert Benton Guest House has. So tell me a little bit about that. How does that work? And
So, all of the events held here, um, the vast majority, except for your rental fee of tables and chairs and linens, goes to local charity. And it's just a give back. And the brides or the shower guests or whoever the rentor is can pick where that money goes. Then we do for the 501c3s, we do an exchange in kind. So if you have, for example, 100-person event, we ask for a tax letter in the amount of what we would have charged another party. So they basically are getting the facility for free. Which Angie Patterson, who I think you might have met with me before, she runs all of the St. Mary's thrift shops.
Yes.
And she is pretty much in charge of all of the philanthropic, getting people to come and taking care of them when they're here and set up and tear down and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
that's a great partnership there.
Yeah, it's been a really, because she knows that 501 world.
Yes.
She does. And we're excited to have Project Safe coming back again this fall.
Yeah.
For their acoustic fall, which we have lights for them this year. So
oh, nice.
they'll be happy.
Yes. I'm so glad that they were able to utilize this space for that. I think that is it's a perfect partnership between
it's
Project
really
Safe.
nice.
Yeah.
It was a really nice evening.
Such an elevated event. Yeah.
This house goes into a trust when I pass.
Really?
So this house does not go to my children. I have 4 children. This house will go into a trust, so that hopefully, if nothing else, it will be preserved as a landmark.
Oh, nice.
You know, if it's doing well as a venue and somebody wants to carry forward and do that, and they feel that calling, that's great. But if not, it will be preserved.
Yeah.
It will live on in itself with funds to pay taxes and insurance and that kind of thing.
It's so nice to know that you had that amount of forethought to all of this work won't be in vain and it will be preserved.
Well, that's kind of what I thought. You can't control everything.
Right.
But, when you go to a lot of trouble and I don't know, I just don't want it torn down. I don't want it moved somewhere.
No.
And it's, it has oddities to its location with a subdivision and a car wash and the highway, but still it has a reason, a presence. It was Mr. Colbert's house. So yeah.
Well, and now, I always knew it as the house with the elevator in it. When I was little, it was always the house with the elevator. I remember we would have to come here for my brother's ball practice. We'd have to go, there's a ball field back in, I get turned around, but there's a ball field.
Yes.
And we would have to go, and I always remember, I don't know who told me it had an elevator in it, but it was always that yellow brick house with the elevator in it. And it's still the brick house in Colbert with the elevator in it.
It still has the elevator.
Yeah.
We're not getting in it. We use it as a closet, but was Mr. Benton put it in for Miss Benton because she couldn't get up and down the stairs after a while. So, old Otis elevator put in like the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah. It still has a push button phone in it.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to get in it. You couldn't pay me. So you've said before that preserving these homes isn't just about saving a building, it's about preserving a sense of place. Why do you think that history and historic preservation matter in communities like ours?
I think if we don't preserve it and we don't write it down and we don't tell people about it, it'll be gone in the next generation. Through this house, I've had the opportunity to meet so many people and talk about the times gone by and the people that made Colbert what it is and what they did and where they lived. And my grandmother lived 3 houses down, or my aunt was over here, or we used to walk to Mr. Benton's store every Saturday. And it's gone, of course. The grain bins are gone now, which was the remnants of his feed store. And if you don't preserve things and you don't, children especially, let the children and the young adults know, then it just slips away. Oh, that's a pretty house. That's what they would say.
But they don't know anything.
They don't know
about
any history. Like you drive through Madison and you go, oh, that's a beautiful home, but you don't know anything about it unless you go in and visit and tour. And I would like to have more tours come through, school groups or junior league, garden club type organizations come through, just so they can learn about the town of Colbert. And Comer could do the same thing, Danielsville as well. There's all these neat little places in Madison County that I don't want to see them go away.
Yeah, we get that a lot with what's now the R.G. Strickland House, the home of the chamber, people stop by just to see it. They may not have even any affiliation with the chamber. They just want to see it, and then they share stories with us about their ancestors and their relatives that lived in the area, or maybe used to visit with the Greens, or memories that they have. And we, the Madison County Senior Center, come in.
Oh yeah.
For one of their field trips, and oh gosh, Flo, they were precious.
I bet.
All of them shared stories about things they remembered about Danielsville and the house.
I bet.
Yeah.
And the stories, and that's, those are the kind of things that if we could just commit them to paper, if we could slow down long enough, because 20 years from now, people won't be doing that.
Yeah.
And they'll go by and go, so what's the story on that house? And everybody will no longer be here to tell you.
And AI is not going to fix that.
No.
AI is not going to replace that.
You can't do that. AI can put balloons in my pavilion over there and make it look cute.
Right.
But it can't replace the history, the actual history of a place.
Yeah.
And it's important, I think, for people to know. I had the best time researching the Colbert family, finding all kinds of little tidbits of information, and children that you don't hear about because they passed in childhood and that kind of thing. And oh wow.
Yeah. That's who so and so must be named after.
Yeah,
because,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you think about how many generations will it be before no one knows who Jill and no one knows who Flo. It's like it will take 2 generations and then we'll be a thing of the past.
I think even quicker than that now that we have all the technology.
Yeah.
Because everything comes and goes so quickly. Fast. People talk about what do you want your legacy to be? It's like, unless you are really special and do something really big, you don't really have a legacy. You just have your lifetime to do and leave behind, and hope somebody comes through and says, oh, at least you didn't leave a mess here.
Right. Our legacy, I think about may not be very far spanning geographically, but if we can make a big impact here while we're here, do our part, really just do our part.
Well, and sometimes I think that's all some people can do.
Yeah.
Some people can be the big fish in the big pond, but some people just need to be a fish in the water and enjoy what they're doing. And that's what we've done with the houses. It's just enjoyed working on them and transforming them, and it's been fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure there's been a lot of late nights, and a lot of early mornings, and a lot of...
More early mornings than late nights.
Yeah.
You want to get me out there to turn that phone off, you're out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. So what is it about the town of Colbert that inspires you to continue investing time and energy and effort here?
I think it's just opportunities have come along. We're working on several projects right now. One is Emma and Eddie's, which has proven to be quite the undertaking.
Oh, really?
And eventually we'll get finished.
Yeah.
It'll be a wonderful, very different space when it's done.
Now, what stage of development is it in?
If we can get the plumbing done, because we added onto the kitchen, then we will take back off. But we are we're wallpapered and painted, and the kitchen renovations are done. Next spring we'll be ready to put in the gardens and all of that, because we're gonna have a fairly formal garden and entertainment area. And but until I have water in the house, we can't finish the bathrooms and that kind of thing. So we're kind of stalled there. And then the Hampton House is zipping right along.
Is it
the
really?
Hampton House is completely gutted in the back.
Oh, wow.
Completely gutted in the back. We were fortunate to run across a camp, Grace Camp.
Yeah.
And they are taking a lot of the shower inserts and toilets and sinks and the little vanity type mirrors and the ADA, the handicap rails and that kind of stuff, which is awesome. So they're being repurposed instead of being just thrown away.
Yes, you're able to take those things out of the home and give them a new home where they can utilize. Yeah, because so much time and attention had been put into converting that space to its purpose as a retirement or a personal care home.
Right. And I hated just to throw things away.
Yeah.
I always, people, they look at me like, you're wanting to repurpose a toilet. And I'm like, well, yeah, because somebody might think this is a really nice toilet. Just because I'm not going to use this toilet doesn't mean somebody else might not want it, or the showers. And so I'm so happy the camp
creates a huge blessing.
Yeah, just to pass it forward.
Yeah,
instead of throwing it in the dump. There's enough stuff that goes in the dump.
Oh, so much so. Yeah, so much so. All right, so let's talk about the Hampton House. Will it retain its name? Will it still be the Hampton House?
It will be the Hampton House. It'll be the way we're going to do it is we're going to have the Hampton House established in, and I have to go do the title work to figure out when it was actually established because the deed records online don't go back far enough to give me that date.
Yeah.
And then as a wedding and event venue established July 14th, 2026.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I'm going to do that is because July 14th is special in my family for a number of reasons.
Really?
So I feel like I'll just add that to it. And
Yeah.
that's when we established it. That's when I bought it as the wedding and event venue.
Yeah.
So, but yes, Dr. Hampton lived there. There is no reason to rename that house. Just like the Carters living in the Carter house, Mr. Colbert living in this house.
Yeah.
There's no reason to rename them.
Yeah. Thank goodness they all had really strong names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things you could pronounce.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
is just good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is going to be a venue space where you can host. Is it 275 people?
We'll be able to host up to 275 people. And one of the benefits of that house is that it's already fitted with a sprinkler system, the fire alarm, all of those things because of the retirement home that was there. So we've got all of that in the new part. So we're gonna not decorate it like this house. We're not gonna fill it full of furniture.
Oh, okay.
So that I'd love to be able to do it like a once a month Sunday brunch. You know, we'd like to do movie nights back in the big hall, just all kinds of different things. But if we fill it full of furniture, it makes it very hard to put the round tables up and have people have lunch. So we're going to have several bedrooms and suites for events like weddings. And they will be available to rent as Airbnbs, but not we'll be fairly selective about that. It won't be your typical Bulldog weekend type place to come.
Right.
That's not to say we won't have a Bulldog viewing party in the back sometime, you know, but we'll be fairly careful about, because it is an old home, how it's used. And we may do it more as a bed and breakfast so there's somebody on site. But anything you can imagine we'll be able to host. It's wonderful with the large septic. From the nursing home, we could have a restaurant if we wanted to. I do not.
Right.
But no, I mean, it's not something I'm interested in. It's not something I want to turn the house into. But we're going to try and expand the kitchen and make it a commercial kitchen, like a lot of your larger wedding venues have, which we do not have here, and be able to host the larger parties and be able to move inside. You know, when it's freezing cold outside or the rain blows up and like, do you have a tent? No, we have inside.
Yeah.
Just come inside.
Indoors.
Yeah, we'll just go inside. So, yeah, that's what we're planning. And then we'll still do the 501c3 events over there, pretty much the same as here. Depending on the size of the event, there'll probably be a reduced fee and an exchange of a letter. But it won't be an exorbitant, because that's not what my philosophy is for the purpose of my houses. And Emma and Eddie's is going to be Airbnb and event space. So
yeah. Do you have your eye on anything else right now? No,
I'm done.
No?
Hampton House is it.
Really?
Hampton House is it.
Then I have to give up on I'll be riding around somewhere and I'll be like, well, Flo needs to get that and turn it into an inn.
No.
Yeah.
No. Somebody mentioned doing like a boarding house at the Hampton Inn. I was like, no. I am not at tenants. I am not a tenant kind of person. I have one rental property and that's all I need.
Yeah.
And I really don't need that one. I can.
Yeah.
But I enjoy fixing them up and I enjoy having events and I love seeing the brides and people who have the parties, and you know, it's just bringing joy to them and
being part of a special moment in their life.
And you know, and the very first thing we had here was a memorial service. So we do all kinds of things.
Really?
Yeah. So we have all kinds of events.
Yeah.
And I want the Hampton House to be the same way. We are going to put in parking over there. And I asked my tree person, could they have it done by the Christmas open house, the Christmas market? And he was like, yes. And I was like, hold you to it.
Oh, yeah.
Hold you to it.
Yeah.
So that'll be our first event, and it won't be done. I mean, the whole thing will not be done by then, but we will be heated this year instead of in the wind. So
now with the Hampton House, is the upstairs, were they utilizing the upstairs for?
They were. One of the ladies that was working there there's one big bedroom and another bedroom that had been converted to a bathroom. And then there are 2 smaller bedrooms. There's only 1 bath upstairs. And the smaller bedrooms, one had a bed in it, so I'm thinking that someone was a tenant, was a resident there. And then the back room, which is, I call the back room, is actually on the front of the house. It had a desk in it, so I'm thinking it was more of an office, upstairs office space maybe. But I don't really know. They had downstairs office space as well, so I'm not really sure. The downstairs bedrooms, I believe, were in use as residence facilities.
Yeah.
Because they have numbers on the doors, they have private bathrooms. So I think they were, residents were living there too. So.
Yeah, I only had the privilege of going in there a couple of times, and you never went to a patient's room, obviously, but it was already a beautiful space, and so I can only imagine what will happen with it once you've had your hands on it and worked your magic. So I'm so excited, so excited to see what you do with that space.
I'm excited about that, and like I said, Emma and Eddie's, I'm excited about having the kickoff parties for both of them. And I think for the Hampton House, I'd love to have, like Emma says, have a adult prom. I said, like a ball.
Yes.
I said, like a ball where everybody gets dressed up. I said, that's kind of what you call it when we grow up in life.
Yes, have a ball.
Yeah, but I think it would be so fun. I don't know how many gentlemen you could get in black tie, but I think it would be just really fun to have something where people could come and dance and eat and have a live band, and just, I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
There. And then Emma and Eddie's will have a garden party. We've already got that planned out.
So exciting.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Yeah.
I know a lot of our viewers are going to be really excited to hear that those are the kind of plans that you have, for getting folks into the space. And
one of the most important things to me, I think, Jill, is that I want people to feel like the properties are theirs.
Yeah.
They're not mine. They're for them.
So they belong to the community.
People have asked me about coming in this house. I said, all you have to do is call me. Text me. I said, I live 2 miles down the road. I'm on the farm every day. I may not look very good,
right?
But I'm happy to bring you in here and show you around the house. I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud to be able to show people what belonged to the Colberts, what belonged to the Bentons, what belonged to my family that we brought in and incorporated it as well. So, I don't want people to ever think that it's an exclusive type thing. I want it to be an inclusive type thing. And I really do. I would love to get some school groups to come through. The senior center would be great. The problem sometimes, with the senior center is the upstairs.
Yes.
So you can get them in the downstairs and show them around the downstairs, but they can't get upstairs, and we're not reviving the elevator for that.
I don't blame you. No, I don't blame you. But it's that accessibility piece. Yeah.
It becomes a little difficult, but still a lot of the people around, and we've had the open houses here, they'll tell me, oh, we used to come here, or I was at school with India, or Wida was my friend, and you're like, that is so cool. Where do you live now? And all of that.
Almost like you're hearing whispers from the past.
It is. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. Well, when you're not working on a project, when you're not dreaming up beautiful ideas for these spaces, what do you do in your, I'm going to say free time, but what do you do in your time that you're not bringing new life to these historic properties?
I can't really tell you. I mean, we have a farm, so I work on the farm predominantly with the dogs and the horses, and just my share of Larry Bush hogs, I cut grass. I mean, we just separate, divide, and conquer.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. That and photography are kind of my passions, and so it's just a mix of all of that. I'm not very good at sitting still.
Yeah.
And taking time off. If I take time off, and I'm probably sure that's what's going to happen coming up on this trip, is I'll be thinking about all the things I should be doing.
Yeah, create a list.
Yeah, like, are they taking care of this the way it should be? But no, just the farm and the photography, are my
it's
interests.
good to have hobbies. I think about, we talk a lot about blooming where you're planted, and that's kind of been a theme for the chamber for a number of years, really since 2020. And you're a really good example of that because you're not from here.
No.
You don't have, ancestral roots in Madison County. but this is home, and you are clearly blooming where you're planted. And I know I speak for so many other people whenever I say thank you so much for choosing Madison County, and not only choosing Madison County to live here, but choosing Madison County to make a really positive impact on. And one thing that I think that our viewers will appreciate about you is you came here from Atlanta, not trying to turn Colbert into a baby Atlanta,
No.
but to really keep Colbert. Yeah.
No, I mean it's not. It's never even aspired to
Yeah.
be a small
Metropolitan
Atlanta
area.
or suburbia, or it is, and it's not really a bedroom community for Athens. I'm fairly certain that's on its way, just because of the way the highways are. That people are going to be, more and more people will be in Madison County. Really, Madison County. I'm not sure about Colbert, but no, it is its own town. Colbert is its own town. One of the funniest things to me when I was talking to people was they would tell me, "Oh, no, I'm not from Colbert. I'm from Colbert," and I'm like, "It's 2 miles down the road."
Yeah.
It's not like I'm from Atlanta. Where are you from in Atlanta? I'm from Marietta.
Right.
I'm from Dallas. I'm from it's 2 miles down the road.
Yeah.
There's no interstate to get there, and it's. And I think that's the charm of Madison County, is each town has its personality and its uniqueness.
It really does.
Which is pretty cool. And no, I don't want to make it anything but what it's been.
Yeah, Colbert's really special, and I think it's even more so special now, in large part to a lot of the efforts of the city council and the work that they're doing to ensure that there are things going on in Colbert. There are community activities that are happening in Colbert. Same goes for Comer. They're doing a great job. Iowa is doing a great job.
Everybody is. There's been a real resurgence and care taken to the little towns and to the presentation they make. One of the things that I read through was, what would you tell people to do in Colbert? And I'm like, I'm not really sure what I would tell you to do, because there is not a lot to do.
Yeah.
But I would drive through and look around. I mean, I do that everywhere I go. I'm like, what's down that road over there?
Yeah.
What have I not seen?
Yeah.
And get a feel for the towns. They're beautiful. I was in Comer not too long ago, and I went down near where Anna lives and found this adorable little house. I was like, where have you been all my life? I mean, it's owned, but I was like, I've never even been over in this area. I never even knew these little houses were here. So that's one of my favorite things to do. You don't come to Colbert like you go to Athens for
It's not a destination.
No, but I don't think anything in Madison County itself really is a destination unless you're going to get something.
Yeah.
It's one of those places you visit and you look around and you just take it all in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, as someone who's lived here all my life, and thinks that Madison County is the most wonderful, truly I do believe it is the most wonderful place to live. We're close enough to the beach. We're close enough to the mountains. We're close enough to, there's rich farmland.
Oh, yeah.
There's the Blue Ridge Mountains. I can get to anything within a reasonable amount of time. And I love that about Madison County. I feel like we're so perfectly located.
And by and large, it's quiet.
It is, yeah.
You have the thoroughfares, and they get busy, but it's not, if you want to go to Athens, you can go to Athens, but it's not Athens.
Yeah.
You're not dealing with all the traffic lights and the commotion and the this and the that. For me, I make it has to be a point to leave Madison County.
That's right, yeah.
I have to have a reason that I was like, no, I really don't want to go to town today. Can I order that from Amazon?
Yeah.
It's like, I just don't, I'd rather be here in this environment, in the quiet.
Oh, I'll store up
peacefulness.
reasons to leave the community. I'm like, if I have to leave the county, there needs to be like a little list of things I need to do.
All in one day.
Yes, all in one day. Well, we will wrap up, but thank you again, Flo. We have really enjoyed this. If y'all are hosting an event and want to learn more about hosting here at the Colbert Benton Guest House, please reach out to Flo. We'll put your website information here. The Carter Guest House is obviously available on Airbnb, And then there'll be more to come on the Hampton House and Emma and Eddie's. So connect with Flo. Like she said, this is an open invitation if you want to come and view the house. She's constantly hosting events here that just welcome people from the community into the house. So I know you did your Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, the Derby party.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have another one.
Yes, and we've hosted chamber events here. You've been so kind to be a host to our ladies luncheon. And my mind's kind of turning on another thing that we'll talk about in just a minute, but reach out to Flo and come and see this beautiful home. I'm excited about all the endless possibilities with the Hampton House. So thank you, and we'll see you soon.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.